Hello and welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, strategies, and insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today, I'm very lucky to be joined by Chloé Malouf of NEEZO Studios. How's it going, Chloé?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining and being on the podcast. And I'd love to start this off by understanding a little bit more about you and your background and a little bit more about NEEZO Studios.
Yeah, for sure. So I am the marketing director at NEEZO Studios, but I have a kind of unique story with the company. NEEZO Studios is actually a family company. So my dad founded it in 2005, and I've had the pleasure and opportunity to grow up alongside the company. So it's been a very unique experience for myself and my brothers who they've been part of the journey. But it's been cool to watch it from day one to where it is today. And my position and what I do marketing wise has also been a progression. There was definitely an evolution to where I am to like today, and it's been a special story and come up. But basically, NEEZO Studios is like a true one-stop creative marketing studio. We specialize in like renderings, animations, architectural scale models, interactive applications. We just like to call ourselves the one-stop shop, and I help market and tell people about who we are. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So, did you always know you grew up in this company? Did you always know you wanted to do something in marketing because you had grown up like watching your dad build this agency?
Yeah, I definitely knew I wanted to get into business, and I think marketing was where I felt like I was falling and leaning more towards. But growing up, we like when you watch a business develop and watching my dad bring it to life, you see a lot of the sacrifice and hard work and time that goes into building a company. I appreciated seeing that growing up. But marketing, I feel I started leaning more towards having that interest, maybe like high school onwards. I started initially social media for the company like years ago, and I was trying to start our social media channels. But then what really helped me lean into the marketing and have more of that passion is I was just shadowing more of what we were doing and understanding all the divisions, all the things that we wanted to say. And then I was personally growing my own social media channel. So I think that kind of helped me lean towards bringing the messaging across for the company as well. And all the other marketing outlets in the company, I think it was just a natural progression over the years that now feels like it was meant to be. So I've been loving doing marketing. Yeah.
Awesome. That's really cool. So you just it's this natural thing. You just grow up, especially I think just growing up in the age of social media and realizing the importance of just posting content. I think that's what a lot of people, businesses and people miss is they just post your content. People
Oh,
want,
yeah.
there's going to be people that resonate. So it's really cool that your dad had a daughter that kind of grew up in that era and she could
Yeah,
kind of like you
exactly.
could yeah, that's awesome. Before we got on the podcast, you mentioned something interesting. You moved from Toronto to Birmingham, Alabama. What was the reason for that? Those are two very opposite places, you know what I
Definitely.
mean?
Definitely. We get that question all the time, but so I was born and raised in Toronto, and that's where the company was founded. So for years and years, we've been in Toronto, but we always had a strong presence client-wise in the US. So we knew eventually somehow we're going to make it there with having a physical office and just making more of that presence. But the speed at which it happened was really during COVID. Like we wanted to get to the US. And first of all, definitely you have to assess all the markets, all the potential places that you can open up, especially your first office here. We were always interested in the Southeast, especially because we see it's such a strong market and there's so many things going on here that it feels like a very good place to start things off. And then we looked at a few different cities that we were interested in, but Birmingham, for a few reasons, was it felt like a good first starting point for many reasons, like I said. But it's just been a good opportunity for us to get closer to clients, to, like I said, reach new markets and make more personal connections now that we're physically here. So it's been good. But personal wise, I love Toronto. It's definitely a different life compared to Birmingham, Alabama. But there's I love both. I love the big city life and all that's happening in Toronto. And I also like how slow-paced Birmingham is, but it still feels like a city with being slow-paced. So there's two different sides to it. But luckily, we still have our office in Toronto as well. So sometimes I go up and down and can visit Toronto every once in a while as well. So it's been
For
cool.
sure. Toronto's a wonderful city. I have a lot of family there, so we go
Mm.
quite often. But that's awesome. And I'm glad you're liking Alabama. It's a really cool state, very beautiful. But so you've worked on everything from real estate projects to hit TV shows like Property Brothers and Celebrity IOU. How do you adopt or adapt your storytelling for such different audiences?
I think for sure when it comes to, let's say, real estate, because that's the biggest industry that we work in. I think when it comes to real estate and the way we market our projects for that perspective is it's very much tailored to how our buyers and investors going to react to these developments that are coming out. Meanwhile, like the TV shows that we do, like Property Brothers and other shows, it's more so of that creative, fun style that you want the people who are watching TV to be entertained on such a short time frame. So there's two different ways that we approach it, but I think luckily, I think we've mastered both. It's just about the stories that you're trying to tell per project. Yeah.
It's really interesting and it's cool. You worked with Property Brothers. I know it's a very
Yeah.
popular TV show, so that must be a
Mhm.
lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. We started working on that show over a decade ago. We started, if you've seen the shows, the before and after animations. So that's what we do on their shows. And then it progressed into their other TV shows as well, like Celebrity IOU, Brother vs. Brother. And then we picked up a bunch of other shows. So it's just been cool. But the brother, we've met them a few times. They're great guys. And it's just a fun show. It really became something. So it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So you've built a social media following of almost 250,000 if haven't already hit that, which is amazing. And you guys have achieved over 60 million views in a very niche industry. What's been your strategy for growing that audience organically?
I think when it comes to social media, I always say, in my opinion, that's like the most powerful marketing tool that you can use. And when it comes to social media, I feel like it's not so much that you're posting, but rather what are you posting and how are people going to react to what you're posting? I think especially with social media, you hear it all the time. Everybody's attention span is much shorter, so it has to be like very quick, especially like for TikTok and Instagram. So I think just tailoring the content towards that idea is what is important. But I think what kind of helped us grow is the fact that I saw, especially with our scale models, I saw that, especially on TikTok, there weren't really scale model companies on TikTok and utilizing social media to their advantage. So I said, although we have a bunch of services, I think our scale models have the potential to really garner worldwide traction if we start taking advantage of it. So luckily with my personal TikTok and like the history that or like the knowledge that I got from it, I was able to start posting our scale model videos. And then after a few, we got a video that is now at 12 million views. So you could tell that people were very interested in seeing the progression of like how, like what it takes to grow or build the models. And then from there, like it was just about keeping up that traction and continuing to build the videos and the followers and all that. But we started going on different platforms too to spread the attention on all the platforms. So that's definitely helped us with brand awareness and just getting our message out there. So I love social media. It's so powerful.
Really is. And that's so cool that you were able to see that. First off, you're right. I've started growing on social media, specifically TikTok, and I've realized how much it's more so and I think a lot of people, if a lot of businesses that are listening, it's like the 80/20 rule where it's like your attention should be focused in the first like 5 to 6 seconds. What is your hook? And then the rest you can follow from there. But that's like where I've noticed
Exactly.
like I have to put all of my attention in that,
Exactly.
refining that, making sure that's good because that's going to dictate how many views I get. And
Exactly.
with you, you're doing this. There's almost this like ASMR piece to what you guys are doing. And those videos, it's really interesting. Randomly,
Mhm.
I follow a lot of videos that, or a lot of accounts that do see tables. Have you
Oh
ever seen?
yeah.
Those are
Hmm.
so satisfying to watch, and they get like
Yeah.
a lot of the bigger companies have millions and millions of followers. It's really cool that you were able to like pick up on that, that that kind of principle would follow for architecture.
Exactly. Yeah. For sure. I think it's, like I said, it's been helping us with brand awareness. We were the first scale model company to start posting those kind of videos. So even that, it's definitely an accomplishment and I'm proud of it, but it's been really fun to just reach new audiences and hear support from all over the world that's coming in about our scale models. But then obviously when we start posting about our other services, people are interested in that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Social
And
media is fun.
I was gonna ask, how does that translate posting scale model videos? How does that translate into either new clients for you or new customers for your clients?
I think what we've been seeing with our social media is, first of all, like it's definitely, like I said, that brand awareness. Like if people are looking for your services, they're finding us at the top of the feed all the time. But we've gotten a lot of people who are interested in whether it's models or our other services through social media itself. So I think we've been getting some good outcomes out of social media, reaching new audiences, which has really been awesome. So that's been good. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's awesome. Wow. That's really cool. And your success has been great. And I hope it gives other people more motivation. I think that everybody in any business can find videos like that to post. We're seeing that with like landscape companies that are just
Hmm.
posting like just
Yeah.
videos of them cutting grass and they get millions of views, or pressure washing companies that are just
Mhm.
people like to watch that stuff. It's calming for them.
Yeah,
Uh and
exactly.
and so that's really cool that you've been able to take that same principle and apply it to yours. Chloe, this has been so great. Where can people learn more about you? Where can people learn more about NEEZO Studios?
You can visit NEEZO's website. It's neezostudios.com, or you can follow us and check out our social media on all of our other accounts, which is at NEEZO Studios. And then I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn, which is Chloé Malouf. And yeah, those are the best places you can reach us.
Great. Awesome. Thank you again for being on. This was
No
awesome.
problem. Thank you.